CFBdyNastyy, Coach Heineman, Coach Octor, Coach Amenta, Coach Segura, Coach Slick, Coach Stevenson, Coach Waymer.
Welcome, compadres. Week 9 recap. They've got me somewhere. I don't know. They send me the coordinates. I show up. I do the show. And I leave. Seems to be getting the branding down really well, though. But week 9, let's get it going. Okay, they got me up here for the presentation on the big screen. We've only got 2 plays to cover for the highlights. First one, 7-7 South Carolina. Corner route, Nick Harbor, pylon, touchdown. We're used to seeing it, whatever. But this is pretty sweet. Mountain halfback swing to the left, and oh! Spin move, 2 defenders, and he's gone. And that wound up being the actual game of the week this week, the Brooklyn Brawl, Brooklyn Bowl. Interesting results from that one, and we'll cover a big touchdown for Coach Amenta and the Washington Huskies. Speaking of Coach Amenta and the Washington Huskies, you may be wondering, maybe saying, why I've been referring to Coach Amenta as a sleeping giant. Well, I did play Coach Amenta right when he got the Xbox and the game, and now mind you, Coach Amenta has been out of the game for quite a little while. So what was impressive is that didn't show. I had to ask, I was like, when was the last time you played a football game like this? And he was like, I don't know, Madden in college or something like that. But, it really doesn't sound like anything until you realize we're old and college was a lifetime ago. So congrats on a huge win for the Season 2 edition to CFBdyNastyy, taking down a previous CFP qualifier in Coach Waymer. Impressive stuff. Next is Florida versus South Carolina. What was the original game of the week? Sadly, this was the result. 70 points for Coach Segura. 7-0, 5-0 in the conference. Coach Octor could only put up 21. He's now ranked 17th, but he's not out of it quite yet. But yeah, big game for Coach Segura. Smashes Coach Octor. And then lastly, Coach Stevenson, Auburn, now ranked in the top 10, 51 points against the computer in Arkansas. Duo of the week, it was between these fellows and obviously South Carolina. But I was so impressed with this win for Coach Amenta that I gave it to these guys. This is the quarterback, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 347 yards, 11 for 18. And then this guy had 5 catches for 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. So big day for Denzel Boston. Here's your next game of the week. Decade-long rivalry, multiple, between Coach Stevenson and Coach Heineman. Auburn versus Tennessee in Knoxville, Tennessee. All eyes on us. See if I'll be ready for the top 25 matchup against Auburn, and I'll tell you what, I am. Here's our 2 best players. Falk is 91 overall, I believe, and he's a left end, right end, something like that. Defensive player. Got some interesting skills there, abilities, and then there's obviously Nico. He'll be ready to go, I know that. We did have Nick Harbor as the offensive player of the week nationally. Massive game, as always, and he also is leading the 2025 Heisman Trophy race presented by Nissan. Okay. Lenora Sellers is now back in the mix in the top 5, and then Malachi Blizzard has moved his way into the top 5 as well. And we do have the first edition of the award watch list for each of the categories, each of the positions. We'll quickly rapid fire through them for this one. I'm not going to cover them every week like I did last year, but best defensive back, Nick Rory, a couple other SEC boys in the mix. Best defensive player, that Fault guy that I was just talking about, a couple other SEC players in the mix. Best linebacker, J.R. Johnson, South Carolina. Best head coach, Scott Green, Alabama. Best quarterback, Malachi Blizzard is in the mix. Best running back, Ruben Owens. Jonah Coleman is in second, and then we have a lot of people actually in the mix for that. Love to see it. Best tight end, Jamie Walters is second there. Best receiver, no surprise, Mr. Harbor. And we'll see how it all pans out for the remainder of the year. But here's your conference standings, 7-0, 5-0 in the conference for South Carolina, Coach Segura. Coach Stevenson is right behind him at 6-1, 3-1 in the conference. A big matchup for myself and Coach Stevenson as I have the same record. So this will have huge implications. And a few other fellas down in the 4, 5, 6 range and 7. Coach Slick. Here's your top 25. South Carolina first. They remain. I am 5th. We've got Auburn at 10. We've got Florida at 17, Washington right behind them at 18, UCLA at 21. And here are your upcoming matchup. Washington going to go against Coach Slick. These boys may not remember, but they've met before. Coach Amenta doing the gargoyle at Green Beer Day one year. So they will rekindle their friendship in a battle for the ages. Washington going against Coach Slick, USC. Next, Missouri, the Computer going against UCLA. Coach Waymer looking to bounce back with a win against the Computer. Next, Florida Georgia Bowl. This one's in Jacksonville. Number 4 ranked Georgia. They're undefeated. Coach Octor, I believe he had a tough time with them last year. So we'll see if he can wipe the dirt off and wipe the dust off, rather. Maybe dirt from getting beat up so bad last year by them. I don't know. Good luck to Coach Octor in that game. Next, South Carolina versus Arkansas. Going against the Computer. Looking to continue his reign as the number 1 ranked team in the nation. And then last year, game of the week. You're not going to want to miss this one. The broadcast will be at some point. You'll hear the word. But either way, good luck to everybody playing games. Can't wait till I play you if I haven't yet already. And good luck the remainder of the year. Bye-bye.